Hey there. I hope y'all are doing great. I am having a fabulous day and I could not wait to start painting. I apologize for the background noise when my heat kicks in. You can hear it. I'm in the room next to the furnace, so today's kind of a cool rainy day and kind of chilly, so hopefully it won't stay on very long. So I'm going to try something just a little bit different today. I'm envisioning not the real thing, but an illusion of a blossom of some sort, almost like a lotus, but I want it to be colorful because I love color, you know me. And I'm going to do the white background and the color, and I'm going to do swiping just like I typically love to do. I'm doing all DecoArt colors, so I'll just go through those very quickly. Titanium white, lamp black, going rainbow colors, yellow, cadmium yellow, jack-o'-lantern orange, true red, alizarin crimson. I have a hard time saying that one. Mulberry, which is in this bottle, but I've purpled it up a little bit. Sometimes you just don't have the right color that you're looking for, so I make my own. I always have the dioxazine purple, which is the deep purple, and purple rain, which is kind of the purple rain and mulberry. This one is kind of those kind of mixed, and a little bit of the dioxazine purple mixed in. Then I have my bright blue and my ultra deep blue. Then I have a sea breeze, which is like a mint color. I have desert turquoise, and these are all going to be in squeeze bottles. And I have a peacock teal, which I add the deep blue to and some green, and so I deepen it up, and it's a really vivid color. I love it. May not use that today though. I think I'm going more for the purple tones. That's the color of the year, and so I'm trying to pull out the purples in my artwork because you do want it to go with people's decor and that kind of thing. But I do love soft tones, I love beach colors, I love rainbow colors, so I'm kind of all over the place. Primary magenta, baby pink, and carousel pink, which is like a hotter pink. So those are all going to be in squeeze bottles that I may use for this piece of artwork. And also, so I wanted to show you this. DecoArt makes a little 3-pack of bottles that are probably about 2 ounces. So my suggestion is, if you want to mix up your own color, you do it in a cup. You do it in one of your, little bathroom cups, one of the smaller size cups. You put less than an ounce of paint, and then you're going to add the same amount of Floetrol or Oatrol. And in these today I'm using Oatrol. It is a European based company, and they only carry their Easy Flow through Amazon or straight from the company in Miami. So I just wanted to show you that. I am using their products. They're asking me if I would promote them, and so I switched back and forth, but today the products have Oatrol in them. It's substantially thick and creamy. No, I don't have any problems with clumping or anything like that. Sometimes you need to add a little more water with this because it kind of goes a long way. But it lays out very smoothly when the paint dries, and no cracking or crazing. I'm really impressed with the quality of the product. So like I was saying, back to these are called writer bottles, like like you write with it, because when you take the little lid off, there is a fine tip or point, and when you open up a new bottle, there's also a seal inside that's just, I don't know why they have it in there, but there's a little silver seal that you have to take out. But I wanted to show you an empty one. But what you're going to do is you're going to mix your color up in a smaller cup, and you're going to do the 1-to-1 ratio of Oatrol and paint. And typically then you don't need to add any water. But I keep my water in a squirt bottle, so it sits around a lot. It's, you know, I have well water, so I use well water. But and I've got a huge bruise on my arm. If you see that, I moved furniture all weekend for my son, and my arm is all bruised up. But so this was one I mixed up and did it in the cup, and then you add water if you need it to get to a certain consistency where it's creamy and runs off your stick like honey. So, and this is my white, and I don't know if you can see. If you can see it coming off the stick or not, but that's the way you want it to be, like honey or a very thick cream. And I sometimes make my white or black that does not have silicone in it a little bit thicker. So you mix water in to get to that consistency, and then you put in a drop or so. Well, for a small amount like this, you just need 1 drop of silicone. And typically I've used another type of treadmill lubricant. This one is Spot On Treadmill. I've already splattered it, and it's a brand new bottle because I was doing a splattering kind of painting the last time I videotaped. So it's 100% silicone. It is added to all my paints in the squeeze bottles. I'll zoom out just a little bit. So I wanted to show you these neat little writer bottles, and I like it because you have a lot more control, and you know, see the difference in the size of the tips. This is a cheap squeeze bottle. This is one that, you know, you pay $3 or so for 3 of these little 2-ounce bottles. But you always need to mix, say if you have a 2-ounce bottle, you need to mix less than an ounce of paint with your less than an ounce of Oatrol or Floetrol, because when you do that, and if you add any water, you're going to be full in your bottle. You're not going to have enough room to fill it. You're going to overflow your bottle. So keep that in mind, that you have to have room for the water if you add it, and, you know, to be able to shake it, to have room to shake it in the bottle. Because if you let the paint sit for a day or two, you're going to need to shake it up to make sure that everything's mixed. And yes, I do shake my bottles. So I'm just going to get ready here. But the first thing I'm going to do, this is a 16 by 20 canvas. I try to write this down because I forget. I keep my ruler around. This is a 15-inch ruler, and so that's a 16 by 20. I'm going to totally cover this canvas with white. I have my large scraper here just to spread it out real quick. And see, here's a clump of paint. This cup, I have like a solo cup type thing with a lid that came from a drink that I bought at some restaurant. And it was a to-go cup, you know, with the lid. So it's a great way to store your paints. You just stick a piece of tape over the little hole for the straw so the air doesn't get out that way, and it stores your paint forever. And there's a good chance if I don't have my hair in a ponytail, there's a good chance hair drops into this canvas, so I'm always looking for hair. I lose hair everywhere I go. I'm not going to use this large tool to swipe. I'm going to rinse it off real quick so the paint doesn't dry. Just hit it real quick with the heat gun. You know what? I forget. My husband made me a little Lazy Susan. I've painted some for people, and I said, I need one to put my canvases on so I can turn my canvases. And so he did make me a little one. I've got my canvas on push pins, but I'm going to lift it up on this little Lazy Susan. Make sure it's centered. That way I can spin it if I need to. And I'll totally forget about that as I'm painting, I'm sure. So I'm kind of wanting like a large open petal type situation, and then some that come over. So I need a center portion of my flower. Some of my bottles are just regular squeeze bottles. They don't have lids, and I'll put a toothpick in sometimes and kind of break it off to keep it kind of sealed up. So that's why when I squeezed, nothing came out. I've got my little handy, I couldn't find my Ollie's store card that I've been using forever. So I got my Amazon Prime card. Can't show my account number, but I've got it to swipe with. I've got my smaller scraper that I'll swipe with. I might use the medium-sized one. I doubt it though, because it feels kind of large for this painting. I also have my butter knife instead of a palette knife. Skewer, straw, just whatever I thought I might need. So I'm going to kind of draw out an imaginary center. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. This is just going to kind of give me a feel for how my petals will go and how they'll overlap somehow. So I want to do these top ones first, and then I want to do these coming up as well, almost where they overlap a little bit. So I'm going to start with the top layer. So I've got my dioxazine purple. I've got this mulberry color. I probably should have mixed up a light purple. And I have this purple rain that I mentioned that was in a bottle. Tell you what, I'm going to squirt some of this in here. And this already has silicone and Oatrol in it. And I'm going to add white to it. So that I have a pale purple. That's kind of too close. So I'm going to take the straight white out of the bottle. So I want kind of a paler purple. I'm just looking in my box over there. I don't see any pale purple at the moment. I'm sure I have some somewhere. So, and that's the perfect consistency. Because usually when it comes out of the craft bottle with your Oatrol or whatever, it's usually already the perfect consistency without adding water. I'm going to put my drop of silicone in. A couple of stirs. I could stir it, I don't care. I like cells, so I don't care if I stir it a lot or not. So there's that, and this is a little plastic bathroom cup. I can kind of, well, there it goes. I broke it right there. So if I squeeze it, I can make a spout, which would be similar to using a squeeze bottle, but it's not as easy as a squeeze bottle. So I'm just showing you that. You can kind of make a spout if you have something that's flexible, like a paper cup or whatever. So I want the leaves to be large, the petals to be larger and kind of pointed. So I'm going to stop with that. I'm adding my kind of deeper mulberry color, almost violet colored. And also, I'm going to put a line of purple here. I want it to feel deeper at the bottom of the petals here. So I'm going to I'm putting quite a bit of paint, but it's, it's in a squeeze bottle, so it's not like a ton of paint that's coming out. I don't have this one in a bottle either. I've had it mixed for probably a month with the Oatrol, and silicone is already in there. I'm just going to add a little bit towards the bottom of this. I don't know what this is going to look like because I'm just experimenting totally here from scratch with you watching. And one of these days I'm gonna do a live painting. If y'all would like to see that, where I do it like right on the spot while you're watching, which will be kind of scary for me, but it might be a good experience. And then I'm going to put, well, here, what we're going to do, since I already squeezed it and cracked it right there, I'm going to pour from that little bit of a crack. And see, you can't control it very much coming out of a cup. That's why I love the squeeze bottle effect. I'll go ahead and put some more at the top. I'm just going to put a hint of some magenta. And there, I got crumbs on this bottle, dropping in my paint. This is bright blue. I'm just adding a hint of bright blue there. Okay. So now I have my white that's in a squeeze bottle. And I'm going to go around and outline the flowers that I've already, or the petals that I've already outlined with the purple. Because my plan is to swipe inward. And when I swipe inward, it's gonna put a bunch of paint in the middle, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work out. Trying to decide. And you gotta have your rag to scrape with as well. So now now that I'm doing this, I kind of know what I should have done. It's a whole heck of a lot of paint on here. So I should have used way less paint, number one. I'm going to go back around with the purple. I'm going to do the ultra deep blue as well. And maybe a little bit of alizarin crimson. I was going to use black, but I'm not going to. I'm going to swipe this up just a little bit into the petal. Try not to let it drip all over everything. So you have to have your painting area cleared of all the stuff around it. And you see I'm dripping everywhere too, right? Yeah, see, I wanted these darker. So I should have just kind of started with this at the beginning. I'm going to go back up over this and bring it off. Okay, and I got the white there, which I don't want, so I'm just going to come back and add okay. So now, get that purple off here. That looks like a jester hat. I don't want that there either. Get rid of some of these drips up here. Add some white back over here. And I may have to come in and add some more, but so now these petals, I think one, this is going to be at the bottom of the petal. Some of this deep blue. A little magenta. I liked the magenta. Gives that little bit of the reddish tone. Do the mulberry color. See, this one does so much better of a thinner line. If you want a thinner line, these are great, but you can only have a couple of ounces. I'm going to use the baby pink. Okay, so I'm going to swipe. Swipe with the white, so I'm just putting a fresh line of white along the edge there. Trying to get rid of some of that striping. I don't want the stripes if I can help it as much. So I'm going to come back down here. Because typically, you know, if this were the bottom of the flower, this portion of the petal would be in the shadow, you know. So, and there I'm gonna do one little thing off to the side here that might just be a really small little kind of petal coming out. Total experiment. I just wanted to do something kind of florally, and I really don't want something to look specifically like it's supposed to be something. I want it to kind of have that abstract feel, but say, oh, that's a flower, or that could let you interpret what it is, not me tell you what it is. I'm going to take my card here, and if you just skim it very slightly, you're not really moving the paint much underneath. I actually have more control on a smaller scale with the credit card. So this petal really needs to come up more. Here I'm just kind of doing like would be little smaller petals underneath or something like that. This is just for fun. It's just playing around. It's not a real thing. The key is not to make it look real. It's just kind of believable. See, that magenta with the purple is really, really pretty. So maybe I'll do a little bit of a white to kind of separate it a bit. I don't know. Just kind of let it do its thing a little bit. So in here, so like let's just pretend that these petals come up a little bit further. You know, they might fold in or whatever. And this is your center. And I'm just going to go in with my finger. This is Jack-o'-lantern orange. Just a hint of alizarin crimson, and I've got this mixed up but I didn't mention it, burnt sienna. I'm just going to do it more at the bottom, and let me see what happens here. So just a swiped kind of feel. And then I'm going to put in random yellow dots. I mean, you could even let them drip if you want to, and this is where you can get playful. With it being fluid paint, you know it's going to change because it's sitting in a puddle of, you know, paint that's fluid. So you know that it's not going to really kind of stay the way it is. I do want to put a hint of black in. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. The nozzle, or the opening on this bottle is pretty large because it's one of the cheaper bottles. So I don't have much control over how much paint I'm getting as little out as I possibly can, and it's still probably like way too much. So I'm going to go in and just tap it with my fingertip, kind of in an upward fashion. Then I can go back and I can stick a little yellow over it, or, you know, whatever. Maybe a little alizarin crimson too. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the dots just almost look like they're pointing upwards, just by flicking them kind of in, you know, that way. It almost has the feeling a little bit of like seeds or something. Oh, drop a lid right in the paint. Now I'm going to go back over this alizarin and some of the black with orange because I don't want it to be too much. So I'm going to just kind of working that in a little bit. And then I want to put just some white dots and don't make them in a line, make them random. And then just kind of flick them up like I did the others. And like I said, you know, this is fluid. When it dries, who knows what it's going to look like, because you know, you can only control so much. Okay, and then I want to come back with white here on these petals. Kind of like highlights. Except for I don't want to drag that orange into the petals, so. I'm kind of pushing my purple up into the white. Maybe I want this one to go up a little bit more. Curve it. This one can go this way still. And so basically I'm just kind of helping the paint along. To kind of form those petals. And let's see. I'm just kind of running my finger along the edges. I don't want it to fan out too much because I want it to stay kind of like petals. So, I did not mention any green, but now that I have this done, actually I want to do a few little kind of like antennas, the little thingies that come out of your flowers sometimes. I'm going to go back with orange on this, I think. So it's like white with a little bit of an orange edge. You really almost don't see it. Then I'll do a yellow side too. Make it, actually I'll do it both sides. So it doesn't look like a real, just make it representational. You know, you're giving the illusion of some little things sticking out, but not really real looking, but you know, kind of hinting at something that would be. So in my bottles, I have sour apple and festive green. And I have the really dark color. It's like a dark teal. It's peacock teal, but then I add the dark green and the dark ultra deep blue, and therefore it comes. This is like my magic color. It's a really kind of darker. You'll see here. I'm gonna do just the illusion here a little bit of the leafiness of something underneath. I'm not going to do it up here. I'm going to zoom the camera in just a little bit. So that was the, whoops, dragging stuff around with me here. Gotta wipe everything off, because I don't want to get purple or orange or something into the green color. So here's my festive green. Here's my sour apple, and I love sour apple. I'm going to put a little bit of the cadmium yellow. And just a little bit of the white. Okay? And I grabbed the purple there. I didn't mean to do that. I'll wipe that off. Where's my white? We're going to try that again. My deeper green. Festive green. Sour apple. Yellow. So, there's that. This is dark chocolate. Here's the dark chocolate. So it's like it's like a chocolate bar, really. I'm going to go down in here on this lower area and just add a little bit. I'm going to stick a little bit of purple in there, because I want the purple to feel kind of prevalent in this whole thing. And I'm just going to swipe up a little bit. I'm almost like parallel with the canvas. But you can't put your fingers, when you're holding this knife, you can't put your fingers into the canvas, but you're just barely touching very lightly the surface of the paint. You're just sliding your knife or your card or whatever you're using, just sliding it horizontally over the surface of the paint so that you're not scratching down to the white, or you're not mixing your colors up into just a bunch of mud. See, and then now I'm just going to take my fingers, come back into that just a little bit, because I don't want the brown to feel too hard. Hey, I can do it with the knife too. See? That just breaks up that area, but I wanted a little bit of a darker feel right here, as if it were shadowed. And trying to think if I want to do anything else. I think just on these tops of these petals right here, I'm going to take this carousel pink right beside that white, just on the tips, and I'm going to see what this looks like. Okay, I don't like the way this one did. So I'm just trying to bring that purple back into it. So now it makes me want to put something up here. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I have a tendency to go too far sometimes. And if it drips over on the sides, that's fine with me. I don't care about that. If the color drips over. I'm just trying to make sure that my white is, the white of my canvas is covered with my fluid white paint. Like there's a, so I think I'm going to call this one done. As always with my videos, I'm going to, when I post the video, at the end is usually the picture of the finished piece dry. I always post the picture at the end dry so that you can see how it actually changed or didn't change, or whatever. I'm going to come in with a little bit of this mulberry and dot it just for the fun of it. Just trying to define the lines just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm done. So here it is, and if you liked it, if you'll give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.